What's up, guys, and welcome back to MLG Pro Scrims. I'm Chris Puckett, joined by my man Revan. Revan, I missed you this past week, and I was at the Call of Duty Championships, and I know you were watching the whole event from home. What were your thoughts on it?
I wish I would have shown the scoreboard a bit more. I would have liked to seen who was performing at the biggest stage in Call of Duty history, but overall I thought it was a great event. You know, Freako Impact, they're just unstoppable.
They were stopped once, but that was in the winners bracket, but they couldn't be stopped overall. Congratulations once again to Freako Impact, the Call of Duty champions currently in Black Ops 2. They've won MLG Dallas. They picked up 20 grand there. They went over to EGL 9, picked up a bunch more money, and then they went into the Call of Duty championships, and they got that $400,000 first place check, some awesome rings, as well as that trophy. So congrats to them. They're the top team in the world. But right now, tonight, on MLG Pro Scrims, we're going to be featuring two teams that are going to be looking to take them and more teams down at MLG Anaheim.
Yeah, there's definitely a big rivalry between these two teams. We're going to have Quantic versus Faze. Old Faze versus new Faze. The Quantic guys left the Faze organization, joined up with Quantic, and they recently made a new roster change, Puckett.
Yeah, absolutely. They dropped Fizzerp. Saw a lot of Twitter activity about that.
Yep.
And then last night, Nameless tweeted it out. Quantic Gaming has decided to pick up Saints, who, of course, he was a big pickup for some other teams at the Call of Duty Championships. And Saints, he may be one of the best free agents out there.
Oh, without a doubt, Saints has always been a strong player. He was on the Envious squad at the end of the 2011 season that got second at Nationals, so we know he's a very capable player on there. But speaking of Nameless, we actually have him in a Skype interview right now.
All right, so Nameless is available. Let's talk to him. Nameless, Anthony, how you feeling, buddy?
Feeling good. I'm excited to play with the new roster. Thanks for having me.
I don't hear anything.
You hear me?
No, I hear you now.
Oh, I said I'm feeling good
There we go.
with the new roster.
There we
Ready
go.
to play him. Thanks for having me.
All right, so Nameless, let's talk a little bit about the decision. It was very controversial in a lot of people's eyes, but they're not on the team. They don't play with that roster every day, in and out. And for those who kind of don't have that information behind the scenes, tell us what was going through the team's mindset when you guys were making this decision.
Well, basically, we had the longest lasting roster in this game, other than Optic, and that was like they had their roster longer for about a week. And we played, multiple tournaments together.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get, as best as we can be. And after Call of Duty Championships, after a couple tournaments, and we weren't performing, as the way that all of us have performed in, previous titles. We just decided that a roster change was needed. And, sometimes you have to change in order to become, the best. And after talking to the team and everyone, we decided to release Fizzerp, and that was pretty much, the way the video that we went about. I mean, emotions were high. We just lost it. The tournament we've been practicing for like 4 months and put so much heart into it, and we lost. But, emotions were high, and with the devastating loss, we did upload that video, but it has been removed. And me and Fizzerp are friends again. But, Quantic and Fizzerp have no bad blood, and I hope he can find a new team and a new organization to represent. But we did feel picking up Saints would be, the best pickup in our eyes. He's a really fast-paced, extremely good gun skill, and he's been on the top before, so we think he'll fit our team really well. I actually teamed with him before, and so did Lyre, so I'm excited for this season.
So you guys, of course, made the decision to make a move first, but did you know who you were going to pick up right away? Did it take time, or did you automatically, just instantly know Saints is our guy? We got to make this decision right now before someone else gets him.
Okay. Well, basically, after that happened, we had a discussion in the hotel room, me, Lyre, Twiz, and our coach, J-Lu. And we were going over, possible players who would be the best ones, fit our team and our play style. And we were talking about people we previously teamed with and everything. And we had two people in mind. I won't say the other person's name. And we talked about it, and we decided that Saints would be the best pickup for our team. And that at the venue that day, I walked up to him, and I'm like, hey, Renato, come over here. I want to talk to you for a second. I pretty much broke it down to him. I explained everything to him. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm 100% down for this season. Got back, didn't waste any time. And I'm like, all right, man, you're on the team. Let's go. Let's make this official. And now we're here.
Just out of curiosity, did that other player's name happen to rhyme with Rito?
We won't get too deep into that
Okay.
situation. But
Understood. Well, let's talk about the new pickup. What is Saints' greatest strength in Call of Duty Black Ops 2?
I think his raw gun skill and instinct in the game is his best asset. He's an animal. Like, you go against him, and he's just gonna outgun you every time. I think he is a top 3 raw gun skill, and if I tell him to do something, he'll listen, and that's pretty much what we need on this team is a role player who can drop numbers, and I'm excited to play with Saints.
He did a great job filling in with Soar. Soar, they fell just short as well of the prize money. Embos and friends were so upset with themselves after they lost to Inferno. But Saints, he seemed like he had a great time there with that squad. And Soar, I hope they go back and get together with Methods. They're also a team out there looking for a fourth now after making some moves. Revan and Nameless, I want to get your guys' thoughts out here. If you're Soar currently, you guys just found your pickup, but who do you think should be the fourth on that purple squad?
They should just pick up Revan.
Pick up Revan?
Yeah.
Actually,
you
they
really
should
want
pick
to
up
quit
Revan.
your job, huh?
No, I don't want to
He's
quit my
ready.
job.
Sorry, he's ready. I wouldn't have any hard feelings if you went back to competing.
I think what Soar needs is, I think Soar needs a very consistent player, like another player, sort of like Saints, because when we played them, they beat us at the Call of Duty Championships,
Right.
and Saints went off, and he's like that player because they have Fluff. He's a good anchor, and he'll be consistent. He won't die a lot. And they have Embos, search and destroy specialist, and they have Methods who runs a sub and he does work in the hard point. So they just need that other Slayer who can just drop numbers and get the kill streaks for them. So they need to find a player sort of like Saints, I think.
All right, so would you suggest an AR player then for that squad?
I would say, a versatile player, maybe a kid who runs like an AN94 who can, float and get a lot of kill streaks for them, but still be in the hard point sometimes.
That makes sense.
That's my opinion.
Nameless, I want to ask you about one of your teammates. Now, before the championships, Liar said that this would be one of his last events. Did you manage to change his mind? Because I know that he tweeted out later that he said he's not retiring anymore. Was that you behind it?
Yeah. After we lost, like I said, it was a devastating loss. We lost by 1 round, and it was, emotions were running really high. And I talked to Ray, and he's like, man, I'm done. I can't do this anymore because he's placed second a lot. He just wants his ring, his championship. And he told me he was going to quit. And I was like, man, you can't quit, dude. You can't leave me after all these years. Me and him have been teaming for like 3 years. And I was like, man, we're going to get a championship this year. Sometime this year, just stick it out. And me and Twist talked to him, and he was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to stay with this. I'm gonna continue to play. He's like, I want this ring, and he's hungry now. He's hungry again.
All right.
Liar, I don't know if you know much about Liar Puckett, but he was voted the best search and destroy player in the 2011 season. So he's a very capable player. He's an amazing guy. He was one of my favorite teammates when I teamed with him in Modern Warfare 3. So I'm happy you managed to keep him around, Nameless. I'm cheering for you guys. You guys definitely have one of the strongest lineups after that roster change. I think Saints was a really good addition to your team.
Yeah.
Well, Nameless, we want to thank you thank you for coming on our little pre-scrim interview. I'm going to let you get into the Xbox Live party, get your team together. We already have Faze in here tonight, and if you guys are just joining us tonight, it's going to be Faze featuring off against Quantic Gaming, and these two teams have a little bit of history, Revan. These two guys met up at the very end of the open bracket. One would advance to the championship bracket while the other would drop down to the losers bracket, and it was Faze clutching it against Quantic Gaming in open round 6 to secure that spot and going up against VVV in the first round of the tournament.
It was crazy. I remember that match. There's a huge crowd around the stations, and Faze, they managed to come out with that victory. Now, as I said before, Quantic, they used to be on Faze. They left Faze, joined up with Quantic, so obviously, the new Faze squad, they wanted to beat them, and, they did. However, Quantic, they did outplace Faze. Quantic, they managed to break the top 8, while Faze, they did not.
Yeah, so Quantic, even though they had to fight through the losers bracket, made their run. And honestly, I had to say, Quantic Gaming, they were up 3-0 in their group at Call of Duty Championships. I was like, this team guaranteed top 6 in my mind right now. The way they were playing when I stopped by their station, they were all hitting their shots. They were all playing perfectly. Unfortunately, it didn't continue, and they had to make a roster change. But now they're playing with Saints tonight. We're going to find out how strong they look. But, guys, you can't really judge them 100% on what you're seeing this evening. This is their very first scrim together. Their first time ever playing competitively online as a team. So look out for them. Revan, at the end of the night, we'll get some thoughts from the players. And, of course, I want to get your thoughts of the new pickup.
All right, now keep in mind, obviously teams prefer LAN over online, so you might hear some complaining in the Turtle Beach team chats, but I'm really excited for this match.
All right, well, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to get game number 1 ready. When we come back, Revan, where are we going to be kicking things off on?
Looks like it's going to be Raid Hardpoint for map number 1.
All right, don't go anywhere. It's MLG Pro Scrims with Puckett, my boy Revan.